There is a fielder out there on the protection out on the boundary, so it would just be one more to the total, but does bring Danny Wyatt-Hodge back on strike, and that is exactly what Surrey would need.
So the runs keep on ticking down.
.46 from 23, need exactly 2 a ball from here. Deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. Gives herself room, and there's a misfield, so it'll still just be 1. There's a lot of early calling. The fielders sprinting in to back up and not try and leak any extra runs.
Well, it's pretty miserable fielding conditions out there. It is still damp underfoot. Remarkably, the ground was holding up far firmer than you expected it to. Me and Georgie went down to have a little inspection ourselves, expecting to go, oh, you couldn't possibly play here.
Yeah, we were sort of expecting an ice skating rink, sliding around, bit of mud.
But it wasn't at all.
Full this time, gives herself a little bit of room. And again, for a moment, I was confused why she wasn't running, but that's because she's got a runner. So if you're confused like I am, welcome to the party, but 1 more to the total.
Well, this is a fantastic over for Hampshire. It was after the carnage of Ava Lee's over, where 3 boundaries were scored in 5 balls. 3 singles to start off. 44 needed off 21.
Advances, and she's gone. That's the end of Danny Wyatt-Hodge. Extra cover takes the catch. It's Georgia Adams there. Confusing because she's got Charlie Knott's vest on, but the captain makes no mistake, and Danny Wyatt-Hodge is on her way. And Hampshire, they'll be feeling very much on top of this game now.
Well, they're big celebrations to see the back of Danny Wyatt-Hodge, and rightly so. Joined in by a passing Laurie as well, who caught wind of the celebrations, had 3 toots of the horn. And that is a big, massive, potentially match-winning wicket for Hampshire.
Danny Wyatt-Hodge goes for 32. And it'll bring Alice Monahan out to the middle. She's no mug with the bat in hand, but this is a tall order. 44 needed from 20. And we saw the previous over and was carnage. Well, Daisy Gibb has come in. It's gone single, 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 wicket, and that is just what pressure does.
Well, Alice Monahan has been in very fine form with the bat. And they're going to need more of it here. 44 from 20. Difficult, but not impossible for Surrey.
It's stat up. She swings across the line. Fielder will just get there. Great bit of work by Freya Kemp. She was phenomenal with the bat today. A half century to her, and now diving around in the field. Got the big slide in.
Awesome fielding from Kemp in the deep. And interventions like that are always important, but even more so with the game on the line as it is here. Not just for the 2 runs saved now, but the confidence kind of deprived from Monahan. She's not able to open her account with a boundary. She's got to keep going.
That's well kept out, really well bowled, and somehow that's managed to squirt fine enough for a boundary. Bonus runs for Alice Monahan because it was a very good delivery. Gibbs been unlucky there. And it's a 4 to end the over, so 38 now needed from 18.
Well, what a format of cricket this is. The T50-26-5.
I think it's going to catch on, but also you've got to have 3 batters out there in the middle as well.
Well, that boundary keeps this chase alive. Just squirted away off the outside edge from Monahan. It wasn't the desired. Well, it was trust the process, not the result. Or in this case, trust the result, not the process.
I think at this point you don't need to show you're working. You don't get extra points for showing it as long as you get the right answer. And Georgia Adams is going to bowl for the first time today. It says Knott on her back, but that's because Charlie Knott has gone back to Australia and left her waistcoat for Georgia Adams. Finds the gap there. The first ball, Alice Davidson Richards says, I'll have some of that, thanks. Sends it to the boundary.
Oh, goodness me. Time for the skipper to come on and bowl. He's a very seasoned campaigner, Georgia Adams.
Moves across early, does Davidson Richards. Not quite timed it. One more to the total. She heads off towards square leg to keep company with the umpire. And Grace Harris comes towards the wicket to do the running.
Well, it's a very simple game we're playing here. The 4 fielders on the boundary are from long off all the way round to deep square leg. There's no one fielding in the ring on the leg side.
Goes aerial this time, and again,
ooh,
well cut off by Elise Perry. She has read that bounce so well. It's skidded on, gone above her head, and there were a few oofs around the ground as she stopped that one.
Well, that's really skipped off the surface. Georgia Adams is going to bowl slowly at the stumps and is going to dare Surrey to basically try and clear the ropes. Well, we've now had a change. Deep square leg comes up, cover point comes out, which suggests Adams is going to go a bit wider.
Full toss this time. Doesn't take advantage. This is looking ominous now for Surrey. But still 31 from 14. It can be done. Goes for the reverse this time. Doesn't quite find that gap. Dot ball.
She made the connection as well, Monahan. She executed her shot there. The risk reward, would it be a dot or would it be 4? This time finds the fielder.
One more to come from Adams. Full toss, absolutely dispatched into the fencing. There'll be people in cars taking cover, and that is a fine, fine stroke from Alice Monahan.
Well, the second over in a row that Surrey have found a last ball boundary. The 4 at the end of the previous over was an outside edge. This was anything but. A full toss from Georgia Adams. And as soon as Monahan made contact, he knew it was sailing over the rope. And it keeps Surrey in the game. 25 off 12. Davidson Richards well set on 47. Monahan, well, showing further signs of the form she showed all year with the bat. She's on 13 off 5. 25 off 12 to win. Oh, a bit of glove on that, and it's going to go for 4. It got leg side, and that's 4 more for Surrey. You can see the backroom staff and players applauding in the background there. Daisy Gibb just losing her line. And goodness me, amongst all the excitement, Davidson Richards has brought up her half-century. Muted, if any, celebrations at all. Job's not finished, Georgie. Job's not finished.
It's not over till it's over. And remember, she's also got a runner. So, just everything happening. You can see the faces of the Surrey backroom staff there.
She goes to the ramp, misses it. She punches her bat in frustration. Now it's 21 off 10. Duckworth Lewis par is 198. Surrey are on 193 to give you an impression of where the history of the sport, who that deems favourites. But I would say at the moment with these two at the crease, I think for the first time after that it was back-to-back boundaries, Surrey could argue they're favourites. Lifted high is deep mid-wicket in the game. 6. A huge moment for Surrey in the game. And it's gone all the way. This is a wonderfully exciting finish here at Guildford, and Davidson Richards is showing she has all the shots. A little bit of precision to start the over, tucking the ball round the corner, followed up with power, beating deep mid-wicket. It's a big boundary out there. 15 required off 9 balls now. What a shot. That's phenomenal. Davidson Richards is doing this in style currently.
I'm running out of superlatives now. We saw her try this one earlier on, didn't manage to execute it. I didn't think she'd go for it again, but went, no, I know that there's real estate over Rihanna Southby's head. That's what I'm going for. 11 now needed from 8.
Well, Hampshire have been the best one-day team in the country this season. Surrey have been the best T20 side. And the format got shortened when we came back out here for a 29-ball thrash. All of a sudden, Surrey felt that bit more at home.
So who will be champions of the 50-31? That's the question that cricket fans all over the world
Bring
are
it
asking.
Back. We need a new format. That should just be 1. Grace Harris and Monahan looked for 2. No. They decide to settle for a single. It's 10 needed off 7 balls, and this is an enormous ball in the context of the match. Can Gibb sneak a dot ball in here? I mean, you'd want more than 10 to defend off the final over, especially with Davidson Richards in the form she's in.
And you also wonder who's going to bowl the final over.
Oh, goodness me. Full toss. Monahan hasn't got that. It should just be 1. 1 bounce out to Bouchier. And that is probably quite a good result for Hampshire there. 1 run. It keeps Monahan on strike. Yes, she's batting very well on 14 off 6. But goodness me, I think I'd rather have a bowl to Monahan at the moment than Davidson Richards. Davidson Richards looks in phenomenal form.
Side note.
Yeah?
Grace Harris is out there as the runner. That is just the person you want there telling you how to play out an over like this. If you're Alice Monahan and you've got Grace Harris giving you the advice on what to do in this situation, you're feeling really good, really confident. That's the positivity you want out there. You've got Alice Davidson Richards, who is the most expressive, enthusiastic cricketer you ever did see. You've got Grace Harris, who's one of the biggest hitters the game ever did see, and you're there as well, and you're facing up the first ball. You need 9 off the final over. That's the kind of mothers' meeting you want to be part of.
I think Surrey have missed the trick here. I think they should have, when they came back out of the restart, they should have got Harris and like Monahan to swap tops. And then Harris comes out at the end.
Quick hair dye, never know.
Georgia Adams.
Final over, 9 needed. And it's a dot ball to start the over. It was there to cut.
Well, that's a surprise ball from Georgia Adams. Even that's a bluff or it's a big miss because she has no protection outside off on the boundary, but she went quick and short.
Brave cricket. This time down the leg side and it'll be wide. So 1 more and the extra delivery. 8 now needed from 5. Monahan, is she just getting a little nervous? This time tries to give it the big heave-ho. They take 1. Brings Davidson Richards back on strike. That is no bad thing for Surrey. 7 from 4. Could do it in 2 fell blows.
Oh, Adams coming round the wicket. It's Davidson Richards. She faces her first ball of the final over.
Goes Ariel, goes all the way, and the scores are level. Alice Davidson Richards dispatches Georgia Adams into the crowd.
Amazing cricket from Davidson Richards. She has been nothing short of perfect since coming back out to finish this game off. And any nerves there might have been around the Surrey camp, with 7 off 4, the game could go either way. Now it's 1 off 3. And well, Hampshire fielders eventually converging to the middle. I love these fields right at the end. 1 to win. They always leave a couple of fielders just floating on the boundary to prevent Davidson Richards from just having a swing. But everyone else is coming in tight.
1 needed. She goes aerial this time, over the head, over the boundary, and over the line. Surrey get. You never thought this was going to happen when it was raining cats and dogs just over an hour ago. Surrey came out. The target looked massive. Well, Alice Davidson Richards, she's hit some massive blows, and that is a massive win for Surrey to get themselves back in some form in the Metro Bank One Day Cup. They have beaten top of the table Hampshire And what a finish that has been. Alice Davidson Richards with a runner. She doesn't care. She doesn't need to be able to run, and she can still win games of cricket.
Goodness me. Well, Surrey have pinched that game because Hampshire, until about 20 minutes ago, felt like they were in cruise control of this fixture.
They were on the bus home.
They were literally on the bus home. We all thought the game was done. It was so damp here. It was so wet. The cloud level was low. It didn't feel like there was any chance of us getting back out there. And then just as the rain stopped, the ground staff sprung to action. They managed to get the best part of 5 overs of cricket in, and what a 5 overs of entertainment it was. Those 3 walking off now. Yes, Grace Harris, she might not have added to the runs in that final part, but she added to the entertainment and the excitement.
She's always there when there's something happening, isn't she?
From Danny White-Hodge, who started with 14 runs off the first 5 balls she faced, 16 runs off the first 5 balls she faced, to Alice Monahan contributing with 15 off 8, to Davidson Richards. I'd have to go and look at the maths to see exactly what her mini innings at the end there equated to, but it was perfect batting from Surrey, a heartbreaker for Hampshire, and well, what a game of cricket.
It's had it all, really, hasn't it? And what a way to finish things. It was that massive 6 from Alice Monahan as well. I thought, wow, they really could do this. And Alice Davidson Richards as well. The 2 Alices at the end really were in Wonderland. And Surrey, they almost can't believe it. Danny White-Hodge, talk about clutch performer. She just came out, didn't need to get herself back in. Just went bang, bang from the off. She really set things going. They sort of started the car in 5th gear as they came back out. And somehow, Surrey have won by 4 wickets, thanks to Duckworth Lewis. Davidson Richards finishing there, 72 not out. The 47 from Alice Capsey falling just short of her half century. But, I mean, Hampshire, they turned up and they put up 278. They managed to get themselves there. Will we still be thinking about that run out of Freya Kemp? Perhaps that was a game-changing moment. They looked like 300 on at one point. Surrey came out chasing. We had the rain break. We came back on again, had another very long rain break. They're just appreciating the ground staff out there in front of us as well. And in the end, Surrey women winning it by 4 wickets.
Well, I've never seen that before. The backroom staff of Surrey were just kind of applauding the ground staff as if they were kind of their ultras in the stands at the end of the football game. They've done such a good job to get that game on, and it's such a big win for Surrey in the context of their season. They started this competition very poorly, 4 losses out of the first 5. Hampshire, top of the table. They've been the best team in the country in this format. Surrey, a win. Their pursuit of a place in the semi-finals is back on track.
Well, thank you to all of you who have tuned in today. It's been a day of a bit of everything, but all that matters really in the end is the result, and it is Surrey women winning it by 4 wickets. What an astonishing end to a quite bizarre day of cricket. And, well, that's the Metro Bank done again for now. We sort of popped up, said hello, did some 50-31s or whatever kind of how many overs we've had in the end, and it will be back to blast action again this weekend. League 2 finals on Saturday, and then head on down to the Oval on Sunday for the Vitality Blast finals day. Up first will be the Blaze taking on Birmingham Bears, and then the home side, Surrey, booked themselves a spot in the final already, so they will be playing there. There'll be a lot going on at the Oval on Sunday, so get down there, get involved, and if you're a football fan too, the Women's Euros final will also be shown on a big screen, as well as mascot races, activation zones, and a little bit of everything, a little bit of something for everyone. But for now, from us here in Guildford, thank you and have a lovely evening.